We gonna push for my sister.
Christina Nance family says they're not accepting the recent update in her death investigation.
It doesn't add up. I'm not buying it. We can't buy it as a family, and we won't. We gonna push for my sister.
Christina Nance family says they're not accepting the recent update in her death investigation. 29-year-old Nance was found inside a Huntsville police van last week at the station parking lot. HPD says in part, investigators have spent the days following the discovery of Miss Nance reviewing surveillance video to try to determine when Miss Nance entered the van in our parking lot, end quote. They say they will also continue working with the family.
So we will have our own private autopsy in the next few days. Our sweet Christina is dead, and they can't give us an answer.
Here's what the family says they remember most about Christina.
Every time she'll come in a room with us, or we'll come by to see her, she'll just smile, and we'll always be like, Christina, hey Christina, and she'll just smile and just light up a room. Not only that, but she also had a bright personality. She was real respectful, shy. She loved to sing, dance. So for something like this to happen to our sister is devastating. Knowing that we have to wake up every day and not see my sister, and just to know that she's not coming home.
The chief of the Huntsville Police Department saying tonight his department has evidence that the woman who was found dead inside an HPD van a week ago got inside the van on her own.
Chief Mark McMurray says the department plans to show that video to Christina Nance's family and then to journalists tomorrow. News 19's Hunter Drinker joins us live outside HPD's public safety complex. Hunter, what do we know so far?
Well, Siobhan and Greg, Chief McMurray says that that video is from a nearby building, and then it shows Christina Nance, quote, somewhat disoriented getting into that HPD van where her body was later found. Now, Chief McMurray says that Nance got into the van days before her body was found, but he would not specify exactly which date it was from. Nance's body was found 1 week ago inside a van outside of HPD's public safety complex. HPD says the body was found by an officer in the parking lot. Court documents show that the Huntsville Police Department had previous encounters with Nance, but she was not in police custody at the time of her death. Chief McMurray says they have been in contact with the Nance family in the days since Christina's death.
There is a lot of attention as to what could have caused this. We won't have all your answers tomorrow, but I think you're going to see a big part of the scenario as it played out, and you will see a 29-year-old that needs assistance, and it's just a terrible tragedy, terrible tragedy.
McMurray also said tonight that the Nance family had filed a missing person report for Christina on October 2nd. He also said that during the time that Nance was in the van, the video doesn't appear to show her reaching out or asking anyone that passed by for help. But again, we still don't know how long she was in the van or what date she got into it. From the beginning, News 19 has been pushing for answers from Huntsville police on this case. We will continue to do that, and we will update you with any new information on air and on all of our digital platforms.
A mystery on the doorstep of the Huntsville Police Department continues, and HPD says 29-year-old Christina Nance was found dead inside an old police van located in the parking lot of their public safety complex.
HPD says she was found Thursday morning when an officer walked to their car, which happened to be parked beside this van. Tonight, we learn new details in the investigation.
News 19 investigative reporter Kelly Smith joins us live in the studio with the latest on this. Kelly.
And Greg, Siobhan. Madison County Coroner Tyler Berryhill released a statement this evening saying an autopsy was conducted for Christina Nance this morning by the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. The autopsy findings determined no foul play was involved in her death. They also didn't find evidence of trauma. We are also learning more about the van where Christina Nance was found. According to a spokesperson for Huntsville Police, the van was purchased in 1995 and was used to transport inmates. Huntsville Police Department spokesperson said today when the Madison County Sheriff's Office took over all detention services in the early 2000s, the van was repurposed. The van was last used in March of 2021 to transport evidence approved for destruction from cleared cases. There are still many questions that remain, including how Nance got inside the van and how long she was there before she was discovered. According to HPD, they are reviewing surveillance footage of the parking lot to determine when she entered that van. According to records, Nance was arrested multiple times for nonviolent offenses from 2013 to 2021. The majority of the arrests were for disorderly conduct. Most recently, she was arrested in March of this year for criminal trespass. Nance's family tells News 19 she was loved and is missed.
The most lovable, fun, kind-hearted, sweet, innocent, beautiful soul.
A spokesperson for the police department says they are continuing to work with the family through this difficult time. According to the Madison County coroner, Christina Nance's official cause of death is currently pending further studies, including toxicology analysis. News 19 will continue to follow this story.
Nance was found dead in a Huntsville transport van in the department's parking lot on Wheeler Avenue a week ago today. Huntsville Police Chief Mark McMurray says he plans to review the video tomorrow with the Nance family to show them the timeline of events before releasing it to the public. He says it took hours of looking through footage from as far away as a quarter-mile from HPD headquarters to pinpoint Nance climbing into the van by herself. It's unclear how long Nance was in the van before she died. An autopsy this week on Nance determined no foul play or trauma was involved in her death. Listen to the chief describe what surveillance cameras captured.
It's kind of distant video taken from the top of a building, but it does show you the facts and circumstances that led up to her being by herself on the day she went into the van.
The chief says a full forensics report is expected to be released in about a month. The chief also brought up the fact that the department has been working closely with the Nance family for over a year now, saying Christina was paired with a crisis intervention team which assists people with a mental health condition. Meanwhile, a protest is set for tomorrow in front of HPD headquarters over viewing that surveillance footage, as well as a news conference by the chief. The chief is encouraging folks to see the footage themselves.
The family of the woman found dead inside a Huntsville police van says family members don't believe the circumstances laid out by law enforcement officers.
And today, the Huntsville Police Department released surveillance video of the parking lot where the van was to the family and public. The video shows the woman police say is Christina Nance near that unlocked van.
News 19's Madison Neal spoke with Christina Nance's family after they watched that video. She joins us now in the studio with more.
Greg and Christine, Deputy Chief Dwayne McCarver led a news conference Friday afternoon to explain what investigators found in watching over a week's worth of surveillance footage. But Christina Nance's family says the video they watched left them with more questions than answers. Police say this security video shows Christina Nance getting into the van in the police department parking lot on September 25th, but her family says they last saw her on the 27th. The unlocked van had been previously used as a prisoner transport van. It didn't open from the inside, so she couldn't get out. Police say video shows her opening the van windows 3 days later on the 28th. Police also say her body was found in that van on October 7th, 10 days after police say she got in. But Christina's sister Latasha says the video isn't clear enough to answer all the family's questions.
Like, I'm thinking y'all calling us down, you know, to show us some footage. You know, I was thinking it was going to be clear. Everything was going to be clear. You got to get what I'm saying? There was going to be some type of clear indication, you know what I'm saying, of my sister being, you know, of how she died. And there wasn't. Not any, at all. Like, everything was blurry. Like, I don't even know if that was my sister.
The family says they will be conducting a private autopsy of Christina Nance, and we'll have more on this on News 19 at 5.
I'll point to the windows I'm going to refer to. Those windows actually pop out and open, then they close, they pop open again. So there were several times, primarily those windows opening, I believe were the 28th, when those windows opened that were very prominent. And then they stay open. They ended up open all the way until the time that the officer found her. So, you know, I think what really distresses us and pains us is that we know that there are, you know, you guys will have some of this video, but cars go by, people walk nearby the van. You know, we just wish that she would have hollered out to someone or something, because there were plenty of, unfortunately, there was what we see as potential opportunities for this to not be a tragedy. And unfortunately, no one was able to realize she was in that van,